Hi guys, welcome to the world of K. My name is Nolita and I am your host. Thank you for joining me once again. Today we'll be talking about toxic K-pop fandoms online, and we'll be looking at Asian fetishism. So if you don't know what that is, Asian fetishism is when K-pop fans rather, when they have an unhealthy obsession with Koreans or Asians, but particularly Asian men, and in this case, Korean men. And they'll go to great lengths to get noticed by them. Some of these fans will go to plastic surgery in order to look like a Korean person. Some of them will migrate to Korea and live there to be an English teacher just so that they can bump into the K-pop idols when, they have the shows around Korea. Some of them will adopt the Korean culture into their lives, which is cultural appropriation. And it just becomes really toxic to the point where it clouds their judgment, and they end up also defending some of these K-pop idols' toxic views on certain things. For example, if you guys don't know, there's Seungri, who is a member of Big Bang, and he was involved in prostitution rings, and was also involved in allegedly having been involved in raping some of these women that were in the prostitution rings. And a lot of his fans were quick to defend him, saying, no, Seungri is innocent, or no, the girls deserved it, or whatever the case may be. So these fans' thought processes, or these fans' views, are very clouded because of the unhealthy obsession that they have with these Korean men. And typically there's a word that you use, or a term that you use, to define these fans. It's called Koreaboos. That is the word for these people. They are Koreaboos. They go to great lengths to look like Korean. They're obsessed with the culture, and they're also obsessed with the men in particular. And mostly it's women, but there are a few men who will also partake in this, and they will go to plastic surgery to fix their eyes or to change their eyes in order to look more Korean looking, basically, or to look more Asian looking. But obviously it doesn't work out because biology, your body is structured in a certain way. So whenever you change it, it kind of ends up looking a little bit botched, and your body just never looks the same again. So rather not go to such great lengths. There's nothing wrong with culture appreciation. There's nothing wrong with having preference in terms of which race you like to date or which race you are attracted to. But the lengths that these Koreaboos go to, it's very alarming. And an example of this community is a well-known online blog. I think she stopped having a blog, but she still has a YouTube channel, and she still has a Instagram account. And this, I don't want to say franchise, but this woman, her, I don't know how to put it, like her organization, her campaign is called KmusicandBlackWomen. So basically, in her mind, she says that she created these blogs for Black women who did not feel appreciated by Asian men, particularly by Korean men. So she said that she created this blog to give Black women a lot of confidence while they enjoy K-pop. At a basic surface level, you'll be like, okay, I get it. That's great, because K-pop and Korea can be a bit racist, but why is it that these women need to be validated by being liked by an Asian man? And so it goes deeper than this. What happens is that she will look at Korean content or personal blogs of these Korean idols, and if she sees any Korean guy standing next to a Black woman, she will cut that video, and she'll take that small part of the Korean standing next to the Black woman, and she'll say, look, wow, it's so amazing, Koreans actually love Black people. But the video does not show any indication of that. It's literally just an Asian man standing next to a black woman. They probably don't even know each other. They didn't even greet each other. They just happened to be in the same event. And all of a sudden, this Korean man, or Korean men in general, love black women. That does not make sense. And she also goes on to defend some of the toxic behaviors that these Korean idols do. An example would be when Mark and the rest of GOT7 from JYP Entertainment, it's a Korean idol group, when they went to America, to Mark's house, what they were doing is that they were busy drinking and having fun, and they got drunk. And there's a video that got leaked out where one of the members, Bam Bam, and Mark ended up saying the N-word. And what this woman, who we don't know her name, because she knows, like, I think she low-key knows the fact that what she's doing is ridiculous and it's embarrassing. We don't know how she looks like. We don't know what her name is, but we do know that she's a black woman because she's quite vocal about that. She then went onto a blog and defended Bam Bam and said, there's nothing wrong with Bam Bam saying the N-word. It's fine. Everybody says it anyway. So she totally dismissed Bam Bam as, N-word video because of the fact that she loves Bam Bam and because of the fact that Bam Bam supposedly loves black women. Now, we all know that black women in general are sexualized on social media, and they are sexualized even in media in general. On television shows and music videos, they are sexualized. And a lot of these black fans, or black women fans particularly, whenever these K-pop idols go to America, they always make sure that they are at the front of the concert, which there's nothing wrong about that. But then they go on to do a lot of sexual moves on the idols. They post sexual content on social media so that the idols can see. And then they go on to make videos online about how these idols liked their sexy moves and liked, whatever sexual content that they were doing. And then in turn, that means that these men like black women. But the thing is, the problem here is that these Korean idols who view this content and like it, they are doing exactly what the rest of some of the men in society, in different societies, are doing, where they are viewing sexualized content or viewing sexualized black women and only identifying and understanding them through that lens, through them being sexual, objects. And so what K Music and Black Women does is that she encourages a lot of these young black women. Some of them are quite young, actually. And she encourages them to actually do these things whenever, these Korean idols go to America. She encourages such behavior. And she even goes on to say, show us receipts. Show us receipts. Show us, when you're doing these things. Show us when you're hugging this idol, when you're shaking your hand, and give us fan accounts so we can hear what it's all about, what happened and all of this. So she's encouraging them. She's encouraging this toxic behavior. And I'm assuming that the reason why she took her blog down is because people were highly, highly criticizing her. Especially a lot of black women were highly criticizing her, saying, what you're doing is wrong. However, she does have a YouTube channel. It's called KmusicandBlackWomen. I did view it and it's quite ridiculous. It really is. The very fact that black women have to be validated by these Korean men, it's ridiculous. And just because a Korean idol will be like, my favorite artist is Beyonce. I like Jay-Z's music. I like Kanye West. That does not mean that idol particularly likes the black person themselves, but rather likes the music that they produce. We all know that K-pop culturally appropriates a whole lot of American culture, specifically black American culture. And at the same time, they are very racist and very colorist. So everybody who likes black music, but they don't like the black people behind the music, if that makes sense. So just because somebody likes music that is produced by a black person does not mean that they like black people. Just like if you've got friends who say, I'm not racist because I have a black friend. That does not mean that they're not racist. They can be racist, but they just hide it because obviously they have friends who are black. Just because you like black music or just because you have black friends does not mean that you're not racist. It's that simple. And so K Music and Black Women is not only promoting Asian fetishization and this whole culture of Koreaboo, but she's also influencing young black women to sell themselves off as sexual objects to these Korean idols when they do come to America or whatever international country that these Korean idols go to. Another thing that she does is that she steals content or steals other people's blogs or rather other people's videos and she doesn't ask for permission, obviously, and she posts it on her blog or on her YouTube channel. There's this one video that she posted of this girl who went on a concert, and this girl was just innocently making a video of her experiences, and then this K Music and Black Women lady took the video, put it on her blog and on her YouTube channel. And when she was asked, did she ask for permission to use this? She said no, she did ask for permission. She and the girl are actually friends. And one of the girl's friends went on social media and said, no, she's a liar. She does not know the girl at all. My friend doesn't know who this woman is. She didn't ask for permission for this video. She just took it. So you guys can see how this whole Koreaboo attitude and behavior is just very, very, questionable. And it's low-key problematic, especially when you're influencing other people to do the same thing as well. And she also does these things, or she used to do these things where she would call them shipments. Basically what she does is that you submit a picture of yourself if you're a black woman, and she'll match your picture with an idol, with a Korean idol. There's no specific criteria as to how she goes about doing this, because you just submit your picture and there's nothing on your face that's going to be like, okay, you would look better with Kai from EXO. There's literally nothing there on your face that indicates that. But she will pick an idol. She'll be like, oh, you're suited for EXO's Chanyeol. Chanyeol likes women with long hair and their hair needs to be curly. Because you are this and you're that, Chanyeol is going to like you because he is a very sensitive guy and he's very caring. And you're sitting there and you're like, how do you know all of this? Have you spoken to Chanyeol? Do you know if Chanyeol even likes black women? Do you know even if Chanyeol even, cares for international women in general? How do you know if Chanyeol is sensitive? How do you know if Chanyeol likes this girl or if he likes that girl? It doesn't make sense. And she also has this segment where she'll put all the idols who say that they like dark-skinned women. Now, you have to understand, in Korea, when a Korean man says that he likes dark-skinned women, he's not talking about black women. He's talking about Korean women who are tanned. Now, a tanned Korean woman is still pretty light-skinned, is still quite pale. But according to their standards, she is dark. So the way Koreans say dark is very different from the way we say dark. When we think of dark-skinned women, we think of Lupita Nyong'o. We think of people like that. In Korea, when they think of dark-skinned people or dark-skinned women, they think of people like Hyorin from Sister, Yezi, Yukji Dam. They think about people like that. They don't think about black women. So dark skin does not mean black women. However, she will manipulate the editing. She'll manipulate the idol's words in order to satisfy her viewers into believing that, hey, these idols like black women. Either this woman is delusional or she's just trying to create this fantasy that she wants everybody else to believe, or she wants everybody to, live in and feel good about themselves. But it's not helping anyone at all. It's really not. And it's really, really concerning, the amount of problematic content that she pushes out into the public. And in her YouTube channel, you will see all the videos of the Korean idols interacting with these Black women are sexual. Now, I just want to put a disclaimer that Koreaboos are not just Black women. They, it can be anyone from whatever race, and it can be any gender. So it's not just Black women, but I'm specifically giving KmusicandBlackWomen as an example of what a Koreaboo is and what a supposedly Korean idol fan who is very, very highly fetishizing Asian men and Korean men. And yeah, and how she just pushes for this AMBW couple thing. AMBW stands for Asian Men, Black Women. So she'll compile also other videos of other Black women and other Asian men from other countries, even if they're not famous, and she'll put it on her blog or on her YouTube channel, so that she, gets views, and she's like, okay, there's hope in the world for Black women, or whatever the case may be. There's another thing that I saw about a year ago of this white girl, and she went on social media and said that she no longer identifies as white, but she identifies as Asian. And this was very problematic, and a lot of Asian people were offended by it and said that she was being racist, and there's no such thing as transracialism, I think, is it called that? I'm not sure. They said that there's no such thing, and she's just saying she's Asian because she likes Asian men and she likes K-pop, and she's also feeding into these Asian stereotypes or rather Asian female stereotypes, and it's not helping the Asian community or Asian women in general. They themselves are now even being sexualized because of people like this girl who perform a certain way, their ideas or perceptions of what an Asian woman is. And people were like, she's delusional, she's crazy, she's a Koreaboo, she needs help, she must just get a life. It was just a whole lot of mess on social media, on Twitter. There was tours. If you don't know what tours are, those are Twitter wars. People were just going at each other. A lot of fans who are obviously a lot of Koreaboos who were supporting her, and everybody else was against them. And it didn't go anywhere. The arguments didn't go anywhere. Koreaboos still exist. And if you go on social media, or if you go on YouTube and type in cringy Koreaboos, you will find endless compilations of Koreaboos just doing the most cringiest, the most embarrassing things. And it's shocking. So you have to understand that Koreaboos aren't just Black women or aren't just white women. It can be anyone. It can be absolutely anyone. It can even be a man who does it as well, because this whole Koreaboo virus doesn't care what you are, what your background is. As long as you like K-pop and you're obsessed with Korean men, you'll do whatever it is to get their attention. That means also changing yourself to be like a Korean woman in order to get noticed by these Korean men, because deep down inside, there is no way that some of these Korean men will want you, because it's their cultural preference, it's their racial preference. They prefer Korean women. There's nothing wrong with that. So these girls try to change themselves to look Korean. But what's interesting is that KmusicandBlackWomen, I think she's in her late 20s, early 30s. So all these other Koreaboos, not that we accept their behavior, but they're still quite young. They are teenagers and they are reaching their early 20s, and typically by mid 20s they get over it. But KmusicandBlackWomen, she's in her late 20s, early 30s, and people are like, girl, you need to focus on an education or a job. You need to focus on getting married, having children. Why are you chasing these Korean men. And what's even shocking is that she sexualizes a lot of the young Korean idols. So in one of the previous episodes, we said that in order to be a Korean idol, you first are a Korean idol trainee, and typically you enter that idol Korean trainee situation when you are about 12, 13, 14, 15, between those ages. That's when you enter the world of Korean idol trainee. And so she has been called out for sexualizing 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds. And she sees nothing wrong with what she's doing. She fetishizes all these young boys, and she's like, oh, the things I could do to this, guy, or whatever the case may be. Totally ignoring how young some of these boys are. So that's another thing that people are having a problem with, is that she's promoting more sexualizing of Black women. She's fetishizing Asian men, and she's also fetishizing young boys as well. And it is very toxic and problematic. And her followers, her loyal followers, don't have a problem with this. They really don't have a problem with this, and I don't understand. So now she's, her Koreaboo virus, if you want to call it that, it's infecting her loyal viewers, who will hunt you down, will call you jealous, will call you racist if you try to counter or give an opinion about K-music and Black women's ideologies or views on Asian men in general. So there's that. So yeah, and it is what it is, and she's still out there on social media lurking, doing whatever she's doing. And these other Koreaboos are also doing the same thing, and it's just it's a never-ending cycle. It's a never-ending cycle. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me for this other episode, and I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you've learned something about what Koreaboos are and how toxic they are and how they need to be stopped. And I'll see you guys another time. Bye.